Happy Friday. It's Mrs. N. I sure miss you. Today I have my daughter Chloe. She is going to teach us how to make a fabulous gluten-free dish. What do you call your dish?
It's the chicken pesto bake.
Chicken pesto bake with cauliflower. It's so good. So we always double our recipe because we're a large family. What you're going to need today is 1 large cauliflower, but we actually are going to do 2. So we have actually another pan here that we've already cut up. So we always double everything, but you'll need 1 head of cauliflower. You will need shredded chicken. Okay, we just got this from Albertsons. That's already shredded, nice and easy. Mozzarella cheese, salt and pepper, already made pesto, and then we have some spices. We have thyme and Italian, all right? And then we have olive oil. This is fabulous. This is fresh garlic olive oil, which adds just a little more flavor.
But you can really use whatever olive oil you have. Also in regards to the chicken, I mean, this is a great dish for using up things that you have in your kitchen. So if you have leftover sausage or just plain chicken breast, it doesn't have to be the shredded chicken. You can use whatever you have in your fridge.
Yeah, and these are interesting times. You never know what kind of meat you're going to get. So if you want to use fresh garlic, this is already chopped easy garlic in the jar. So we have that, and we also are going to need onion. You can use any kind of onion. We're using white today. All right, Chloe, so why don't you get us started on the cauliflower? But don't forget, before you start, what do we have to do?
Always wash your hands. We've already washed our hands, so we're just going to dive right in.
Yes, we're all ready. Okay, we're starting off with cauliflower.
Yeah, so you're going to want to make sure you don't get the leaves in your dish. And I have found that the easiest way to cut off all of the cauliflower florets, which are just the individual pieces of cauliflower, is just with a kitchen scissors. Thank you.
All the little tricks that we do. Maybe your mom can help you and she can hold the leaves for you.
It's very helpful.
Okay, what do you do next, Chloe?
We're going to be cutting up the cauliflower head. So there's really no rhyme or reason to this. You just want to kind of get down into cauliflower and start cutting off stalks. You don't need to worry about making them small yet. I just need to get them all into the pan first, and then I separate it by hand. So for the cauliflower, this dish, you actually have to bake the cauliflower by itself first, so that it can get a little bit tender. Otherwise, you're going to end up with some really crunchy cauliflower. So what we're going to do is, after I get all of this cauliflower cut off, you're going to need the olive oil, the garlic, salt, and pepper. So make sure you have those prepared.
We've rinsed off our cauliflower, so it's nice and clean for you. Looks really good. They're big pieces. These are really big pieces. Do those get smaller?
Yes, so we're gonna make those smaller.
Okay.
So we've got all of that off, and then I just go back through, and essentially you just want to make them bite-sized pieces. So something about that size. The cauliflower is replacing any sort of a starch that would have been in this dish, like a pasta or a potato. So you want to make sure that it's a substantive amount that the people bite into.
That looks good. Do you want me to start cutting? Do you want me to start chopping the onion? Oh, there's Jalen.
Oh, hi.
Come say hi, Jalen.
I was just coming to get cold brew.
Cold brew.
Hi.
Hi there. Welcome to our family. Do you want me to start chopping the onion?
Yeah, so you're gonna need half of an onion, a large onion. If you have a small onion, so it's a half an onion if it's like this size.
Good large one.
It's going to be a whole onion if it's about this size. So
Yeah.
can you see the difference there?
Very good. So I'm gonna start chopping the half an onion. Cold brew, can we explain what that is?
So it's coffee.
It's coffee, thank you.
So, so it's cold brew coffee, and it's basically it's been brewed in
Cold water.
it's cold water and not hot.
And it's also really
They
concentrated.
can't actually see you,
They can't
but
see me?
here's Jalen.
Hi.
So you always have to water down your cold brew.
Alrighty.
Now, if you get a piece that's hard for you to break with your hands, you can just go back in with your scissors and just kind of cut that stalk a little bit. Like I said, you're just aiming for somewhat bite-sized pieces. All right.
My students are such good onion cutters.
Hmm.
You are such good onion cutters. I have a really huge knife, so you don't need such a huge knife, students, but Mrs. N has a really large one, and you have really special knives in school, so make sure that you use a knife that mom or dad or grandma or grandpa say is okay for you to use, okay?
All right, so I'm gonna add the garlic olive oil that we have. Again, any kind of oil, olive oil that you have is gonna be fine. You're gonna wanna add probably 3 tablespoons of oil. I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it.
Nice. Do you want to show what that looks like?
Yeah, so honestly, it doesn't matter kind of how you put the oil in because you're gonna use your hands
Okay.
to get it onto every little piece.
All right, this is the half onion.
Thank you. So you can go ahead and just put that in there. There's no rhyme or reason
All
to
right,
that
sounds
either.
good. All right.
And for the salt and pepper, Mom says that you guys understand a pinch, kind of what that looks like scientifically. This is going to be a little bit more than a pinch. I would say in total, it would probably come out to half a tablespoon of salt. And you're probably going to put in about the same amount of pepper.
So a bunch of sprinkles. So it's lightly covered.
Yeah, so if you can see, you can just see a little bit of that pepper all over. So now I'm gonna use my hands, and I can use them because they're clean and washed. And you just kind of massage the onion and the cauliflower.
And I'm gonna go
Go
put
for it.
this in the other one, right?
I think you probably do half and half.
This is, I already put a half onion in.
I have an onion here too.
All right, well then, here we go. About a fourth and about a fourth.
There we
Here we
go.
go.
We're using up our onions.
Let's just be good stewards of it. Actually, we have a little more cauliflower there.
Okay.
Do we put any garlic in yet?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we do. So you're gonna want about 2 tablespoons of garlic in here. I'll have Mom put it in since my hands are already oily, which is gonna come out to about 2 scoops. And you just have a regular spoon. Make sure you massage that in too.
All right, that takes care of that. Have a little bit left in there. I'm just gonna use that up. I'm gonna go put this in the recycle. We're done with that. Oh, that garlic. Just cleaned out my sinuses.
Okay, so that's it for the first step. The last thing that you're going to need is have your oven on at 400 so that it can preheat. And you just stick it in the oven. And we're going to wait for 20 minutes or until you can start to see the tops of the cauliflower brown a little bit. All right, we'll be back in a moment.
All right, it's about time to pull our cauliflower dish out of the oven. So Chloe is getting that right now, and I'm gonna start opening the packaging. We're gonna set it right here.
Oh, you can hear it sizzle.
Look at that. Ooh, that steam.
Make sure you're using pot holders. This is going to be very hot.
Yeah, we just discovered a pot holder that had a hole in it. I just threw it away, a trusty pot holder. It was sad. All right, so Chloe is gonna tell us what to do next.
Okay, so it's fine if it's still hot because we're just gonna put everything in, put it back in the oven. So you're gonna need some heavy whipping cream. We're gonna put in 1 cup.
Spoon for you.
Thank
looks beautiful.
Okay. And then I have pre-shredded 8 cups of mozzarella cheese. We're only gonna put in 2 cups. Remember, we're making a double batch.
2 or 4 cups? You said 8 cups.
Oh, I pre-shredded 4 cups of cheese. We're putting in 2.
There we go. That looks good.
And then, Mom, you could actually start adding the pesto if
Okay.
you'd like.
So we just have this easy jar of pesto. It's 6.7 ounces. So just a little classic jar of pesto, and I'm going to start putting in that jar. Of
So
yellow
you're
pesto.
gonna use a full jar of pesto. If it's a small one like the one we have, we're gonna use the whole thing. If you get like a much larger one, probably half of the bottle will be fine. And then for the seasonings, remember we have the Italian and then we have thyme. You're just gonna want a couple of shakes over the top. I would say probably like 4 good shakes. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Now, am I going to stir this all or no? Or do
Yes,
just
we
later?
are. We're gonna stir it all.
Okay.
And I would say probably the same with the thyme, okay? 1, oh, mine's coming out slowly, so I'm gonna need a few more shakes.
Oh, this is really smelling good because this pesto, of course, is made of olive oil, Parmesan cheese, and basil. So you've got basil and these other herbs.
Mhm.
Oh, this smells delicious.
So we have, how much is this?
We can measure it
This
for
is almost a pound of chicken, which is going to come out to,
Here.
what, 2.5 cups of chicken?
Should I measure it? Let's measure it. We'll measure it for you so you know.
It's gonna be way more than that. So that's 1.
All right. 1 cup. All right, that's 2 cups.
2.
Just probably gonna be more like 3.
Yeah.
That's all right. All right, keep going. Put that in there. You just put it all in there. Yeah, so it's 3 cups.
Okay.
3 cups of shredded chicken. There we go. Let us stir it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Remember, be careful not to use your hands to touch the side of your baking dish. If you need to get some stability, make sure you grab your pot holder and hold on, okay? I suppose this is kind of similar to a casserole, right?
Yeah.
In a lot of ways.
So good. And of course, if you're a vegetarian, you know, just don't put that chicken in there, okay? But we like it with the chicken.
You do. It's very good. All right.
Those herbs smell so good.
Don't they? I know there's so much in the pesto that honestly you don't need a ton of spices, so that's why we don't have to put a whole bunch in.
Oh yeah, that looks nice and evenly blended.
Mm-hmm. All right, the last step is just to put a little bit of Parmesan cheese right on the top.
Do you want me to do that?
Yeah, go for it. So just go ahead and sprinkle that right over the top.
Right.
We just want to get a nice even layering. It just kind of dusts over the top.
Really like to use fresh Parmesan. We have our Parmesan block, but you can use, if it's already grated, that's totally fine.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
We've done it different ways.
Makes it a little easier actually.
But today, we grated it.
So now that we have all of our cheeses, both of the cheeses in there, and the pesto and the cream and the spices, we're gonna put this back into the oven. You can just do it uncovered for another 15 to 20 minutes until you can see that the cheese is all melty, and again, just have a little bit of browning on top, okay?
Can we show them what it looks like?
Yeah.
Doesn't that look
So-
fabulous? So good.
We'll be back in just a moment. We'll show you what the finished product looks like, okay?
Yum. It is now out of the oven. You can see that it's bubbling and it's all melted. It looks amazing.
Mhm. And right on the tips of the cauliflower, you can see that it's just a little bit brown. That's exactly what you're looking for. All right.
All right, we can't wait to eat it.